Hey, everybody. Welcome to the 2020 Collins Hope Kids Triathlon Zoom celebration. We're doing this a little bit differently this year. We wish that we were all together and that you could have run through this tape to the finish line of the Collins Hope Kids Triathlon. You'll see the pool there. Jeff and Jana, Collins' parents, have a pool and the finish line behind them. We're so bummed that we couldn't be there together in person, but we know that many of you did your own triathlon in your own neighborhoods, in your own pools, some of you in the ocean. And so we wanted to say congratulations on finishing and thank you for staying with us this year. I want to invite Perry Coal, our Kids Tri race director, to say whatever it is that she wants to share with you guys as a congratulations.
We just want to tell you all how much we missed you. We missed having the race in person this year. And I want to say on behalf of me as the race director, but also all of your favorite race coordinators that you've seen around the race for many years, like Shelly for the bike and Betty for the run, and Pat at the swim and her whole crew of awesome people who come out and keep you safe in the water during the swim. And who can forget Shark Fin, who really missed being with you all this year. I know he was sad to not see you, as we all were. So we just want to tell you we can't wait till next year when we can get you all back out there in person and we'll race together and cheer each other on again.
Absolutely. I know I've seen some of those course directors around town and everybody is so bummed that we couldn't be together. So with that, Jeff and Jana, do you guys want to say a few words to our amazing Kids Tri athletes on behalf of Collins Hope and you guys?
Yes. So I think I took myself off mute. Can you hear me, Alyssa? It is so great seeing everyone's face. I wish we were seeing you all in person. I don't think it's a surprise to anyone to hear that the Collins Hope Kids Tri is one of our favorite days of the year. And it was just devastating to us as it was to everyone not to be able to do it in person this year. But when we identified pretty early on that we couldn't hold the Kids Tri up to our own standards, our own safety standards, and it just wasn't the sensible thing to do. It would have been easy to just not even do the Kids Tri this year, just put it on pause. But it's such an important part of our mission. And that's the one story I want to share. The Kids Tri takes so much work from not just the participants, but the staff and the volunteers. And Perry, you do such an amazing job. And it's a lot of work. And the commitment to keep doing it virtually was the right decision, a hard one. But our mission needs to continue. I mean, with this pandemic, we've still had at least 63 children drown this year in Texas alone. And so virtual or in person, we need to keep talking about drowning prevention. And that's why it made sense to do this. And we know that the Collins Hope Kids Tri is making a huge positive impact on drowning prevention because we hear amazing stories every year from families whose kids as young as 4 years old who spend the entire summer learning to swim just so that they can be in our Kids Tri. And that puts just such a smile on our face. And I see your smile, Alyssa. It's powerful. Knowing that we're making that impact on water safety is just tremendous. And to know that these kids are doing something that so many adults, myself included, I've never done a triathlon, but these kids now, some of them have done, 14 consecutive years of triathlons. It's amazing. What an accomplishment for them. And to know that they're doing it in honor of children who they've never met, but children who drown. And that just raises our spirits. And it's something that we can't even put into words how meaningful that is. But I know we have other families here tonight that will touch more on that. So I just want to say thank you to all the participants that hung with us with this virtual event. It's challenging times. It's difficult for us to adapt and learn how to do an event like this virtually, but for them to be here, to continue to participate and not just push themselves, but help push our mission forward, just means the world to us. And we're just so thankful to to everyone that made this happen. So thank you all, and we look forward to seeing you hopefully in person next year.
Awesome. I love the footage, video behind you guys, because that's video footage from our past triathlons. I'm not sure which one, but you know, I too was so bummed that we couldn't do this in person. And as a triathlete myself, and having had races canceled all year long, being able to at least get our athletes doing something virtually, and echoing, Jeff, what you were saying about how important this work is. Collins Hope has not stopped doing the work during this long, hot summer. And so it's so exciting. We have put together, Jessica put together a little video. We asked some of our participants to share their pictures from where they did their triathlon. So I'm gonna share my screen for a second so everybody can see it, and we'll watch that and then we'll come back. One moment, please. Uh-oh. I think I'm sharing my screen. It won't come back. All right, hold on one sec. I thought I had figured this out after 6 months of doing this, but clearly it went away. Hang on. That is not what I want to share.
Hey, Alyssa, can I say something while you're working
Yes.
on that? Hi, guys.
Sure.
I'm Laura Metro. I am, is it up?
No, it's okay. I have to go find it again. Go ahead, Laura.
Okay. So I'm the founder of CPR Party, and I founded this after my son, Clayton, survived a non-fatal drowning. And I wanted to say that, you know, something that you guys can all know, and I secretly, Alyssa, you don't know this, earlier on in March and April, I secretly sent a text to Jeff and told him this, that, you know, throughout all of COVID, you know, what Alyssa and the team at Collins Hope had done virtually and online with Facebook was really, really a tower and a lighthouse and a leader when it came to inspiring so many people and doing so many things with Alyssa and what she would do to get on, and, you know, working with different groups and different topics and doing the Cooking with Colin on Fridays and things like that. You know, we talked about, you know, keeping this mission moving forward and keeping it going. Really, Collins Hope, not just with this triathlon, which is so important, but really, if you guys may or may not know that this has been going on, which is kind of ironic that Alyssa's having technical problems right now, because she's kind of been like the tech representative for all of drowning prevention and water safety, and really the lighthouse and guiding so many organizations and so many groups, just watching Collins Hope and watching what Collins Hope has been doing this whole time consistently, day in and day out. And it's made a really big difference. And I've had people around me that have seen things, you know, it's just, especially with what's going on with education, you know, here I'm in the Washington, D.C. area, and a lot of kids are starting school tomorrow. You know, people are really supplementing homeschool curriculums, you know, teachers are looking for things that they can do. There's all kinds of things that are going on. So I just, you know, really just wanted to say that it is just been really an amazing thing to watch what Collins Hope has done this whole time. And, you know, with the aquatic space, this isn't normally a lot of tech. People are in the water a lot, right? They're not on their tech, right? And so to be able to pivot and adapt and move forward in this way throughout this time has really been, I mean, a service to the community of the world, to drowning prevention, and absolutely will make and has made a huge, huge impact in this space. So I just, you know, thought, while we had a moment.
Okay, well, I think I figured it out. So thank you for doing that. And I think as soon as I say that, and we'll say that one of the things we're going to talk about later in the Zoom, and we can talk about now, is where the funds that come from the Kids Triathlon go, and they go to support the work that we do all year round. And since the pandemic started, we've been doing so much online. So that was a really nice tee up. We'll see if I can actually make this happen now, because I opened a whole bunch of things while I was trying to do that. So let's see if we can see the video. Hold on. Okay, I think we're almost there. Now, can you hear that? Can you guys hear it? Okay, yay. Could you guys hear that? The music to it? Oh, well, we'll post a link, but thank you to both Cami and to Charlie for Hooten for sending in their photos. And we got some last minute photos from Leighton Owens, which we didn't have a chance to put in there, but it was interesting to us. We were trying to figure out, where are people going to do their triathlon? Are they going to do it in their backyard pool? Are they going to do it in a community pool that they find that's open? Or maybe they'll do it in the ocean. So in a second, I would love to have Cami share how she did her triathlon, but you'll notice in the video that both Cami and Charlie had done their race in honor or celebration of someone, and we give our athletes a chance to choose someone or someones from the Families United Against Drowning Not One More Stories collection. And Charlie, who's not on here, but he chose for the second year in a row, he chose to do his triathlon in honor of Clay Metro. And then Cami, Stevie, who's on here, chose to do her triathlon in honor of Rory Sheffield. So we have Sherry Sheffield, Rory's mom, and Laura Metro, Clay's mom, on. So I want to give you guys a chance to say anything, and Jeff and Jana chime in too, because our athletes always do their triathlon in honor of Colin. If you guys want to share what it means to you as parents to have our athletes race in honor celebration. And everybody got one of these I Race For wristbands in their packet, and they wrote the name of who they're racing for on there.
You want? I guess I'll go.
Okay.
Sorry, Laura. I was trying to switch over to see her to see if she was going to start talking. Cami, I just want to say how much. Well, I can't say how much it means to us that you would do yours in honor of Rory. It's hard to put into words because to hear our child's name and story being read, and sorry guys, oh wow, that was unexpected, to be read and seen by another child. I'm not sure how old, Cami, you are, but you look about what the age Rory would be at this time. So that really, honoring our children, it's really special. It's a special thing that Colin's Hope does. And thank you for picking my Rory. He was an amazing little guy, and thank you. Sorry, didn't mean to get all weird.
You're welcome. she says, "You're welcome." You know, I think I posted this, that Cammie sat with the book online and flipped through the whole book for 2 days trying to decide who she would honor. And she decided, can I tell them how you decided, or do you want to say it? Okay. She decided on Rory. First of all, she said, I want to honor a boy because boys drown more than girls. And I did not teach her that. I don't know where she learned that, but she learned it. And she picked Rory. She keyed in on him. So there's a connection, a spirit that she shares with him. And she is 8 and going to be 9 on Labor Day.
Well, that's incredibly special. And the picture of Cammie of you coming out of the ocean, I think you definitely had the warrior thing going on. So that's awesome. All right.
She just learned to swim this summer, learned the freestyle stroke. And Uncle Kim and Aunt Susie were in the ocean with her, and she kept practicing every day. And then one day she's sitting on the beach, we're building a sandcastle. She goes, "It's time, let's go." And we were like, "Go where?" She said, "It's time for me to swim for Rory." And out we went. She swam 120 meters in the ocean. And Kim and I were walking beside her, chasing her down as she did her swim. But it was quite exceptional to see her grow that much. She stayed with us for a majority of the summer because of parents taking new jobs and trying to work out daycare. So she got to stay with Aunt Susie and Uncle Kim in New Jersey. And she was also a mini waitress at the coffee shop that I waitress in. And she told everybody about what she was doing. She told everybody about Rory and asked people to protect their children. And we had a lot of people donate and tip her. So that's how she raised some of her money.
Well, and we will get to the pledge raising in a minute, but that is awesome. And well, way to go, Cammie. That's awesome. And so, Laura, do you want to? I know Charlie Hooten, he sent in his pictures. I think I sent them to you, but this is the second year that he's done his triathlon in honor of Clay. And I remember last year, his mom is a old coworker of mine, and I remember him sitting also with the book last year, and he chose Clay.
You know, I mean, it really means a lot. And I think, you know, as we've all known each other a long time now, you know, that with non-fatal drowning events, you know, it represents some, depending on what stat you're looking at, anywhere from 5 to 8 in additional children that suffer from non-fatal events for every one fatal event. And, you know, what is really heartwarming, and this is something that I found in the drowning community and the National Drowning Prevention Alliance and the Families United community and in the relationships is with non-fatals, you know, Clay made a miraculous recovery, and it's not at all a normal recovery for non-fatal events. Usually there's traumatic brain injury that has lifelong care. We have some things that we deal with, but, you know, generally speaking, it was a full and total recovery. And in those cases, a lot of times they're like, Clay's okay, you're okay, everybody's okay. And all of your support sort of drowns up. Well, when you've been medevaced and your kid was in a coma for 2 days and you didn't know, you know, it affected people, especially my at the time, she was 6.5, now she's 15, daughter. And we had still suffered this, and I was still, you know, now involved in drowning prevention. And so, you know, to have somebody honor him and honor our family for the trauma we went through, in no way comparing it to the trauma that families go through who lose their children. And everyone who knows me knows that I say that over and over again to the point where they tell me to shut up. But I understand the difference fully. But it does, you know, I mean, it does feel, it really does warm my heart and also make me feel like the work that I'm doing and that we're doing, you know, it makes a difference. And it's nice sometimes for somebody to honor that pain that you went through, and also to honor this other section or sector of drowning prevention, which is the non-fatals, which often very much go kind of unnoticed, you know, because frankly, a lot of parents are then having to spend, you know, they don't have time to be advocates because they are caring 24 hours for someone who has a traumatic brain injury issue. And, you know, it's just been a really big honor to work with you guys and know you guys. And I think just remembering these things and honoring these things is really, really important. You know, it's not, it doesn't go unnoticed, and people might think that it's, well, is this really a big deal? Yeah, it's really a big deal to people, and it means a lot. And sometimes it might make the difference of somebody saying, I'm throwing in the towel. This is just, you know, to hear at the beginning of this call, 60 something drownings. It's like, you know, and how many non-fatals that we don't know about, right? And so sometimes you need that one person to honor that you said, okay, I'm gonna keep going, you know? And so it's just, I really, really do appreciate it. So thank you, Charlie, if he sees this.
Well, and maybe we can have you meet Charlie, because I can make that happen. But I've, you know, this piece of the Collins Hope Kids Triathlon is something that's a very special piece that that I know a few of us on here do lots of races and triathlons and things like that. And when you're doing it for in honor of a person or a higher purpose or a cause, I know it motivates me and it makes it bigger, and I feel even more accomplished. So our triathletes are amazing, and I love that they so lovingly, really, and mindfully choose who they're going to race in honor or celebration of. So, so then now I want to make sure that we give a chance to honor. Well, actually, Cami, do you want to say anything about you're our triathlete who's on here? Do you want to say anything at all about your race and how, if you liked it, if you want to do it again next year, or anything at all? And it's okay if you don't, but if you do, the floor is yours.
Say anything? Gonna do it again next year?
All right. Well, that's okay. I don't want to put her on the spot. We're about to put her on the spot, though.
Okay.
So, Jeff and Jana, do you want to announce who our top pledge raiser is?
Yes, I'd love to. And Cami, I want to say you look so sweet on your aunt's shoulder right there, but I bet you are a fierce competitor on the triathlete field. I'd like to hear, Cami, what's your favorite event in the triathlon? Is it running, biking, swimming? Do you have a favorite?
It was the biking.
Ooh.
The biking.
Yeah. And when the bike rental place found out what she was doing, they loaned her the bike rent free, and they sponsored her. So they were
Way to go!
Enthusiastic too.
Way to go!
Well, what an amazing job. I can't wait to, I hope I get a chance to see you bike in person or run and swim in person someday. But what blew me away is I read your pledge page, Cami, and you set a goal to raise $200, which is a lot of money. And that makes a big difference, but you raised a lot more than $200. Do you know how much you raised? A little birdie told me it was more than $500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she
I've
got a
500 and
500 what?
$505.96. $505.96, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and she got a phone call from a family member today. They want the link to donate also. So she's still getting donations. We're very proud of that. And we really, honestly, we just put it out there to family and friends that we thought would be interested in what she was doing. So we're very honored. Very honored.
Well,
She wants to
thank you, Cami, and we're
very proud of this.
Cami, and we have an echo now, so if everybody can put themselves back on mute, then maybe we can avoid the echo. But I want to say you're going to be getting a prize package in the mail, so we'll need to know where to send that to you. And I'm not going to tell you everything that's in there, but there's going to be, it's the super duper top pledge raiser prize package. So that'll be coming to you. And just as you guys were saying, keep raising your pledges. If you're watching this and you wanted to raise pledges for Collins Hope and you didn't have a chance, or you think, wow, I can say I did the triathlon and now raise pledges, it's not too late to ask people to support what you did and to support the work that Collins Hope does year round. And I think it's important for people to know what we do and where that money goes as you raise pledges. So these water safety cards, we distribute 75,000 of those every year, and some of the funds that Kay raised and others raised help support that. We put life jackets at life jacket loaner stations at some of our local swimming areas and parks on the lake, which is they're getting tons of usage right now because the lake is open. The people that are behind me and behind Jessica also, we have a curriculum that we get into schools and camps and preschools and daycare centers. And so all the funds that are raised by our athletes go to support the work that Collins Hope does 365 days a year. We don't just work during the summer. We don't just work when it's hot. We work all year round to do this. And so every single dollar, whether it's $1 or $505.96, all of those funds go to support the work that Collins Hope does all year round. And so on behalf of myself, these people, Collins Hope, and I don't know if anybody else who's on here, I can mute myself if wants to say anything else, but thank you so much to everyone who did support us this year, who participated, who didn't give up, even though we couldn't all be in the same place running under the arch. You had to run through your finish line tape instead, but it means a lot to Collins Hope. And so I guess, does anybody, Perry, to give them a little message about, Perry, oh, there you are. Do you want to give a little message about next year?
Yep, we just, life threw us surprises this year, but we're hoping and believe that we will be back in person next year. And it's an honor to work with all these people you see on the screen here and the people you don't that I mentioned earlier. And we just sure hope, like Alyssa said, we can have you running under the arch, through the tape, past the water stations, and see you in 2021.
I think that we need to close this out with, and it might echo, which actually could be really cool. Let's do a big best day ever. But Jeff and Jana, do you want to say real quick why we say best day ever? Because it's on everybody's swaps. It's on their buffs that they got. It's on everything. It's on their finish line tape. So will you tell real quick where that comes from so that people understand? And then let's just do a big one.
I'd love to. So best day ever is something that Colin used to say each and every day. And it brought such a smile to us to hear Colin say that. And it just means so much to us that it's become a part of Collins Hope mantra, because it truly is what we want everyone to have. Talking about water safety, there's a lot of scary things that we have to talk about, but our goal is not to scare people around water. We want families to go around the lakes, the pools, the rivers, have an amazing time, but to do it safely. And we want them to have a best day ever. So that's why we say it.
I love it. All right. So thank you again, everyone who participated in the virtual Collins Hope Kids Triathlon. We will see you next year, hopefully in person. Let's give them all a best day ever. 1, 2, 3.
Best day ever.
Oh, and that had echo. I love it.
Tammy.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you next year.
Bye, y'all.